He's got the voice, the moves, and the hits that defined a generation. Uptown Funk, Just the Way You Are, Locked Out of Heaven, Bruno Mars has ruled the charts and lit up stages across the world. And then, he vanished. No new albums, no world tours, just eerie silence. Fans are asking, where is Bruno Mars? What happened to him? For years, rumors have swirled, speculation has run wild. Financial trouble, personal struggles, even industry conflicts. But now, at 38, Bruno is finally breaking his silence. Want the inside scoop? Stay tuned as we unravel the shocking truth behind his unexpected break. But before we dive in, let's rewind to where it all began. The story of how a little boy from Hawaii became one of the biggest names in music. Born Peter Gene Hernandez on October 8, 1985, in the sun-soaked city of Honolulu, Hawaii, Bruno grew up in the lively streets of Waikiki. His home was a melting pot of cultures and music. His father, Peter Hernandez, was Puerto Rican with Jewish roots from Brooklyn, while his mother, Bernadette San Pedro Bayot, was a Filipino immigrant with Spanish ancestry. Their love story began on stage. His mom was a hula dancer, and his dad played the drums. From the moment he could walk, Bruno was surrounded by music. At just 2 years old, his father nicknamed him Bruno, after the wrestler Bruno Sammartino, thinking his son's chubby frame resembled the legendary fighter. As one of 6 siblings in a music-filled home, young Bruno soaked up every sound, from rock and roll to reggae, hip-hop, and R&B. His parents' love for Little Richard and doo-wop classics shaped the unique style that would later make him a global sensation. Bruno's uncle, an Elvis Presley impersonator, introduced him to performing when he was just 3. Singing Elvis and Michael Jackson tunes before he even started school, Bruno quickly became a sensation. By age 4, he was performing 5 nights a week with his family band, the Love Notes. His Elvis impersonation made him a local celebrity in Hawaii, earning him features in newspapers and television spots. Of course, every performer has their share of embarrassing moments. One unforgettable incident? During a live rendition of Can't Help Falling in Love, young Bruno accidentally wet himself on stage. But instead of running away in shame, he kept singing. Because even then, the stage was where he belonged. At just 5 years old, he was featured as Little Elvis in a Hawaiian tabloid, performed at the Aloha Bowl halftime show, and even landed a cameo in Honeymoon in Vegas. By 6, he had already been interviewed by MTV's Pauly Shore and appeared on the Arsenio Hall show. While most kids were learning to ride bikes, Bruno was mastering the art of captivating an audience. His elementary school years were packed with nightly performances alongside his family, covering classics from Frankie Lyman to Little Anthony. He mastered multiple instruments, including drums, guitar, piano, and percussion, proving his versatility early on. But life threw him a curveball at 12 when his parents divorced, bringing an abrupt end to the Love Notes, his family band. Suddenly, everything changed. With his father's businesses failing, Bruno and his family plunged into financial hardship. They bounced from place to place, sometimes sleeping in their car, on rooftops, or even in an abandoned bird zoo called Paradise Park, where his father once worked. But even in those tough times, Bruno never lost sight of his dream. His early years impersonating Elvis gave him a larger-than-life stage presence, but as he grew, he found new inspirations. One major influence? Guitar legend Jimi Hendrix. The way Hendrix played wasn't just music, it was magic. Inspired, Bruno picked up a guitar himself, adding another layer to his ever-expanding musical skill set. Looking back, he often credited his Hawaiian roots and musical upbringing for shaping the artist he would become. But how did a kid from Honolulu go from impersonating legends to becoming one? Let's dive into the turning point that changed everything. High school wasn't just about classes for Bruno, it was his training ground. While attending Theodore Roosevelt High School in Honolulu, he joined a group called the Schoolboys, performing at gigs that included opening for his father's new band. Covering classics by the Isley Brothers and the Temptations, he became a local star, even landing unique gigs like performing at a magic show and impersonating Michael Jackson at celebrity tribute events, earning him $75 per performance. But a real breakthrough came from an unexpected source, his sister. Living in Los Angeles, she played his demo for Mike Lynn, the head of A&R at Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment. Lynn was blown away. In 2003, fresh out of high school at 17, Bruno packed his bags and moved to LA, chasing his dreams. Expecting Hollywood glamour, he instead found himself living on Mansfield Avenue, a rough, poverty-stricken area nothing like the bright lights he had imagined. Reinventing himself, he officially adopted the stage name Bruno Mars, Bruno, from his childhood nickname and Mars to give himself a cosmic, larger-than-life appeal. It was also a strategic move. He wanted to avoid being pigeonholed into the Latin music scene, which industry executives kept pushing him toward. A record deal came fast. In 2004, Motown Records signed him, but it didn't take long for reality to hit. This wasn't the big break he had hoped for. The deal stalled, his music went nowhere, and within a year, Motown dropped him. He even tried reaching out to will.i.am's management for another shot, but that road led to more dead ends. Sticking it out in LA, Bruno found himself at Westside Independent in 2005, signing a music publishing deal with producers Steve Lindsay and Cameron Strang. There, he learned a critical lesson: raw talent wasn't enough. Lindsay drilled into him the formula behind hit songwriting. Bruno, along with rising songwriters Brody Brown and Jeff Basker, studied what made a song stick. It was 5 years of grinding, waiting, and writing before success finally knocked on the door. During that time, Bruno played in a band called Sex Panther, featuring Basker and his brother Eric Hernandez, who would later become the drummer for the Hooligans, Bruno's future band. One of the biggest turning points? Meeting Philip Lawrence, the songwriter and producer who would become his creative partner. But even that almost didn't happen. When Lawrence first considered heading to LA to meet Bruno, money was tight. Seeing his hesitation, Keith Harris, drummer for the Black Eyed Peas, stepped in and offered to cover his travel costs. Lawrence jokingly asked for just $5 for the bus fare. That small moment of generosity would help launch one of the most successful collaborations in pop music history. Bruno and Philip Lawrence faced constant rejection, but their persistence paid off in 2006 when Lawrence introduced Bruno to Aaron Bayshuck, an A&R rep at Atlantic Records. Impressed by Bruno's raw talent, Bayshuck was eager to sign him. However, Atlantic hesitated, believing Bruno needed more time to refine his artistry. 3 years passed before they officially brought him on board, testing his patience and resilience. By 2008, things looked bleak. Bruno and Lawrence were close to giving up when a phone call changed their lives. Brandon Creed, searching for tracks for the boy band Menudo, expressed interest in Lost, a song Bruno had written for himself. Reluctant at first, they agreed to sell it for $20,000, a crucial financial boost that kept them going. Creed later became Bruno's manager for nearly a decade, shaping his path to stardom. Before stepping into the spotlight, Bruno built a reputation as a sought-after producer and songwriter. He crafted hits for major artists like Alexandra Burke, Adam Levine, Brandy, and Sean Kingston. One of his biggest early wins came in 2009 when he co-wrote Flo Rida's Right Round, a chart-topping smash. That same year, he collaborated on Get Sexy for the Sugababes and lent his voice to Far East Movement's 3D. Bruno's ability to blend genres and craft infectious melodies set him apart. He worked on Jason Mraz's Love and contributed to Travis McCoy's charity anthem One at a Time for MTV's Staying Alive Foundation. With each project, his influence grew, paving the way for his solo breakthrough. Bruno's star power became undeniable when he co-wrote and featured on two massive hits, B.O.B.'s Nothing on You and Travis McCoy's Billionaire. These tracks dominated the charts, with Nothing on You soaring to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the UK Singles Chart. Interestingly, Bruno later reflected that if he had sung Nothing on You alone, it might have sounded too much like classic 90s R&B. Instead, his collaboration allowed him to shine while maintaining the song's fresh, modern feel. This breakout moment confirmed that he wasn't just a talented songwriter, he was a star in his own right. On May 11, 2010, Bruno released his debut EP, It's Better If You Don't Understand. Though it peaked modestly at number 99 on the Billboard 200, it marked his transition from behind-the-scenes hitmaker to solo artist. The music video for The Other Side, featuring CeeLo Green and B.O.B., further cemented his credibility in the industry. With newfound recognition came new pressures. The transition from songwriter to performer brought challenges, But Bruno's ability to navigate the demands of fame showcased his resilience. As his career skyrocketed, so did his earnings. By 2013, Billboard estimated his annual income at nearly $19 million, ranking him as the 12th highest-paid musician of the year. A year later, Forbes placed him at number 13 on their Celebrity 100 list, reporting $60 million in earnings between June 2013 and June 2014. The momentum didn't stop there. By 2017, Bruno was pulling in record-breaking figures, landing at number 6 on Forbes' World's Highest-Paid Celebrities list with an estimated $90 million earned in a single year. In 2018, he became America's highest-paid musician, with a staggering $100 million income, ranking number 11 among all celebrities. Even in 2019, Bruno remained a financial powerhouse, securing the number 54 spot on the Celebrity 100 list with earnings exceeding $51 million. His rise to fame wasn't just about talent. It was a testament to smart decisions, relentless work ethic, and an undeniable stage presence. Success came with its share of struggles. On September 19, 2010, after a performance at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas, Bruno was arrested for drug possession. Security grew suspicious when he spent an unusual amount of time in a restroom stall, leading to his detainment. Acknowledging his mistake, Bruno expressed deep regret and took full responsibility. Instead of jail time, he completed community service and attended educational courses. By 2012, after fulfilling his plea deal requirements, the charges were dropped. Rather than letting this setback define him, he turned it into a lesson, using it as a moment of growth. Legal troubles resurfaced in 2014 when Demetrius Orlandis Proctor filed a lawsuit against Bruno and Travis McCoy, claiming Billionaire had infringed on his copyrighted work. Proctor alleged the song's melody was too similar to his compositions, even though he officially registered his material in 2011, 1 year after Billionaire was released. His case fell apart due to multiple issues, including failure to serve McCoy with the lawsuit and an inability to specify which parts of the song were allegedly copied. Ultimately, the court dismissed the case, marking another hurdle Bruno successfully overcame. Bruno Mars's career didn't stall despite legal setbacks. After a brief quiet period, he made a powerful comeback with Unorthodox Jukebox, released on December 7, 2012. In a strategic move, he allowed fans to hear the album a week before its official drop, a decision that paid off. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 192,000 copies in its first week. It didn't stop there. Unorthodox Jukebox soared to number 1 in multiple countries, including Australia, Canada, Switzerland, and the UK. With over 6 million copies sold worldwide, it solidified Mars' status as a dominant force in pop music. Just when it seemed his career was hitting new heights, a storm brewed around Uptown Funk. Released 2 years earlier, the hit collaboration with Mark Ronson had already taken over the charts. But success came with a price: copyright battles. The most notable claim came from the Gap Band, who argued that Uptown Funk bore a striking resemblance to their 1979 song, Oops, Upside Your Head. Their legal action led to them being credited as co-writers and securing 17.7% of the song's publishing royalties. The controversy didn't stop there. Multiple artists came forward with similar accusations. The electro-funk band Collage claimed Uptown Funk borrowed heavily from Young Girls, while The Sequence accused it of copying Funk You Up. Serbian singer Victoria also voiced concerns, but refrained from legal action. Even more Bounce to the Ounce by Zapp became a point of contention as La Strada Entertainment alleged similarities. Though some lawsuits were later dropped, the repeated claims reignited debates about musical originality, artistic influence, and the blurred line between homage and imitation. Beyond copyright disputes, a deeper discussion emerged. Critics questioned whether Mars' lacked success came at the expense of black artists, with some arguing he profited from a historically black genre without proper recognition. Others defended him, insisting his work celebrated funk's legacy rather than exploited it. The debate reached mainstream platforms, with figures like Sensei Aishatu on the Grapevine arguing that Mars merely repackaged existing sounds rather than innovating. The legal drama didn't end there. In January 2021, Uptown Funk returned to the headlines when the Gap Band's heirs sued BMG Rights Management, alleging unpaid royalties. The lawsuit claimed that despite a 2015 agreement awarding Robert and Ronnie Wilson 3.4% of Uptown Funk's copyright, BMG failed to honor payments. The heirs sought over $775,000 in damages, along with 9% interest, dating back to 2015. However, in April 2021, the case was dismissed without prejudice, leaving the door open for future legal action. BMG denied any wrongdoing, stating that no financial settlement had taken place. The music industry is a high-stakes game, and few artists navigate it as masterfully as Bruno Mars. With an unmatched ability to blend pop, funk, and R&B, he's built a career on timeless hits and electrifying performances. But even superstars aren't immune to controversy. From whispers of massive gambling debts to shocking career moves, Mars remains an enigma, one that fans and the media can't stop dissecting. In early 2021, a bombshell rumor took the internet by storm. Bruno Mars allegedly racked up a jaw-dropping $50 million gambling debt, supposedly making him financially beholden to MGM Resorts International. The claim? His highly successful Las Vegas residency was less about artistic expression and more about settling debts. Speculation ran wild. How could a global superstar, reportedly earning $90 million annually from his shows, be in financial distress? Could the same man who dazzled sold-out crowds be secretly struggling behind the scenes? An anonymous source escalated the drama, insisting that Mars was owned by MGM due to his gambling habits. As the story gained momentum, MGM Resorts issued an immediate response. The allegations were completely false. The company praised Mars for his stellar performances and emphasized their strong, respectful partnership. Yet, despite the firm denial, the gossip refused to fade. Adding fuel to the fire, Mars himself had once joked about his gambling habits. In a 2016 Carpool Karaoke episode with James Corden, he playfully admitted that he had, at one point, used gambling winnings to pay his bills. While the comment was made in jest, it planted a seed of doubt. Was there some truth lurking beneath the humor? Mars's alleged gambling troubles, real or not, struck a chord with fans. The contrast between his dazzling success and whispers of financial turmoil made the story too intriguing to ignore. Could even the most successful artists fall victim to self-destructive habits? The idea was compelling, raising broader questions about the pressures of fame and the private struggles celebrities might hide behind their carefully curated images. As if the gambling rumors weren't enough, Mars made another unexpected move in 2023. He and Anderson .Paak withdrew their Silk Sonic album, An Evening with Silk Sonic, from Grammy consideration. Given the album's critical acclaim and frontrunner status, the decision baffled fans and industry insiders alike. Was this a quiet protest against the industry, a strategic career move, or did it somehow tie back to the swirling financial rumors? No clear explanation emerged, but the decision only deepened the mystery surrounding Mars's career. While the controversies make for gripping headlines, they overshadow what truly makes Bruno Mars remarkable: his artistry. His music transcends trends, blending vintage influences with modern appeal. Tracks like Uptown Funk and Leave the Door Open showcase his ability to craft infectious melodies and lyrics that connect with audiences worldwide. Despite the speculation, Mars remains laser-focused on his craft. His recent collaboration with Lady Gaga, Die With a Smile, signals his constant evolution as an artist. Whether stepping back from award ceremonies or shaking off rumors, he seems to prioritize what truly matters: the music. Regardless of the truth behind the headlines, one thing is certain: Bruno Mars is a force in the music industry. His resilience, talent, and ability to reinvent himself keep fans captivated. Fame comes with its fair share of myths and speculation. What do you think? Do the rumors change how you see him, or do you admire his ability to stay focused despite the noise?